Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast. My name is Eric. I am your host. It is Pop Culture in the Dark, and I hope everybody's doing really well. It is July 2nd, 2026, and it's hot. It's very, very hot. On this Thursday night, actually, I was planning on doing something today. I was going to go out and do some stuff today. But the heat index was like 115 or something like that. It was really, really, really hot, and not in a just get a fan, get in the shade, whatever. No, it was really, really hot. I almost said the F word, and it's too early in the video to do that. YouTube watches for the first 10 minutes, so we're gonna try and be good for the first 10 minutes. Anyway, so I hope it's cool where you are, but if you're on the East Coast of the United States, the Mid-East, you're probably in the same heat wave that I'm in. So there we go. What do we got to talk about tonight? We're going to talk a lot about X-Men 97. I have my thoughts. We had 3 episodes premiere. I'm not going to talk tons of spoilers, but we are going to talk about the episodes. Depending on who the guests are that show up, we'll see what else we discuss. I know Jake is on vacation this week, so he won't be here. And as someone that loves the X-Men, I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about it when he gets back. So Zazman here says, hello, was celebrating Canada Day yesterday. Happy early 4th of July as well. Congratulations to you. Hope you're celebrating that, having a good time. We give a shout out to some channel members. Fetman Plays here. What's up? Good to see you. We also have Harrison in the building. Good to have you, Harrison. Jose is here. Good to see you, Jose. Shout out to everybody else that's hanging out in the chat. I do appreciate you. So we have that to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit. I think there's a new poster for Spider-Man that we're going to look at. Let me check my tabs here. We have a trailer for Star Wars Visions, The Ninth Jedi. We're going to watch that tonight. If I can pause the video. Why is it not pausing? Won't pause for me. So we're going to watch that. We're going to talk a little bit about a new G.I. Joe movie. The one poster we have, a funny video from Anthony Mackie that somebody shared. I guess a little bit of Supergirl stuff. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about Supergirl. A Hugh Jackman interview and Bo DeMaio. We got some Bo DeMaio stuff to go over. So we got a few things to talk about tonight, and we'll see how far we get with all of this. As always, we have super chat goals on both channels, whether you're watching on Reloaded or Debunks. 5 super chats. We're going to try at any level. At any level. Because I know some people like to do their $1 super chats to get us over the goal, which is fine with me. But it wasn't working before. We're going to try that again. I set them at any tier. So if you want to throw out a $1 super chat to support the channel, you can. It's always appreciated. We're going to see if YouTube counts it. I don't know if they will. But they did count our super chat here from Silhouetted Animator. Let's take a look at this. One of the X-Men 97 trailers that came out showed some psychic attack that was actually harming Apocalypse. I feel like he'll perma-die in season 2, whether it's Onslaught or someone else. I don't know. I would love to see Onslaught. That would be great. It would be a huge transition for some of our bigger characters like Magneto and Professor X, but I would love to see it. I think it would be very cool. I didn't see. Is it one of the older trailers or one of the newer trailers? I don't remember. Wait, did we watch one that had that? This sounds very familiar to me. They teased it in episode 3. Yeah. Oh, at the end of episode 3. I wish, you know what I wish? I wish that I could watch episodes with you guys. I actually was thinking about this. Tell me if this sounds like a good idea to you. Tell me this sounds like a good idea. So there is a service called Riverside. I think that's the name of it. That allows you to invite people in, up to 200 people, to join in on a stream on that service that's not broadcast anywhere else. It's just for invite only. I was thinking maybe once in a while trying that out where we watch stuff together, like maybe a movie night or something like that, And if you get in time, you get in time. It's like I send out the invites. If 200 people get in time, they get in time to watch it with us. That would be a good way to watch a lot of this stuff, all these cartoons and things like that we can't watch together over here because of obviously copyright issues. But over there, we can allow it. I think StreamYard, there's a way to do it over here as well with StreamYard, but it's like really expensive. You have to pay for like the $100 a month tier. I think it's some ridiculous amount. But I would love to watch it with you guys. Thank you for the super chat, Silhouette Animator. All right, so I want to talk about the 3 episodes first. We're going to go ahead and talk about it. So episode 1 was Days of Future Past. It's really funny. We were sitting on the couch watching the episode, okay? And 2 of my friends were like, this looks like Days of Future Past. And I was like, well, the title is Days of Past Future, actually. I believe that was the title. I think it was reversed. Days of Past Future. I'd have to double check on that, but I think that was the title. And I was like, well, I think that's what they're going for right now in this first episode, is sort of leaning into the storyline that continued from that particular timeline. So this was the one that followed the timeline-shattering events of season 1. I've got my notes over here. The core team remains missing, picking up the pieces back in the present day. Forge and Bishop spearhead a highly ambitious and risky rescue operation to track down and save the X-Men, who have been completely scattered across different eras of time. Yeah, they switched the last 2 words. Yeah. That's what I was saying when I was telling them. I was like, yeah, I think it's like the vibe is there, right? But what I really loved was how Forge is like in the episode talking about inventing time travel, and they don't spend a lot of time on it. You know, if you're watching like a movie or a TV show or something, you're going to get a lot of build up to like, how did they make this device? But we know how Forge's powers work, so we don't need a lot of explanation. So you have Forge inventing this device so they can go and save the other X-Men. You have Bishop helping him. I thought this was really cool. And of course, the whole thing, we have to get them back to the 90s. I thought that was really cool as well. So for me, it was just a slam dunk there. Going into the future, seeing our X-Men in the future, seeing Wolverine in the outfit from his Savage form, kind of going crazy. Yeah, I loved all of it. I loved everything. All the Apocalypse stuff. Just, the Final Horseman, right? We had the new Final Horseman in there with all of their really cool powers. I believe, I don't know all of their names, unfortunately. But we had the Minotaur person. We had the lady who has the insects that come out of her mouth. I only know them from their names with Apocalypse, like the Pestilence, Famine, Death, War, all that. The drummer who can like, I believe it absorbs flesh or something from you when he uses sound. It's like Dazzler, except instead of lights, it literally absorbs like your flesh and your materials and things like that. But the really cool one is the guy that can give people diseases, who I think in the comics eventually becomes like a hero. Like, he thinks his powers can only give disease, but ultimately he can also like cure things as well, if I remember correctly. So I thought it was really cool to see those characters used as the Final Horseman. Yeah, Jeb Lee. So this like soldier from United States history from like, I can't remember the exact year, but yeah, he's a drummer boy. Yes, Ozymandias. Love that character. The sand powers, very cool. It all looked really good. Someone did mention that it seemed like the dialogue, like the way they were talking wasn't as polished as it was in season 1. I didn't really notice that, but a lot of people said it was. You have to let me know in the chat if you guys felt that same way. I didn't. I thought it looked really good, but several people were complaining about it. I don't know why. It didn't bother me too much. Seeing Jean and Scott and Nate all fighting together was incredible. Really, really, really love that first episode. First episode was really strong. Episode 2 was titled A Force to be Reckoned With. Now, this was in the wake of the E-Day. A power vacuum is left in the world without the premier mutant superhero team, the X-Men. The episode shifts focus to the emerging threats and factions in the 1990s present, as a mysterious covert paramilitary force rises up to fill the void and take matters into their own hands regarding the growing mutant presence. So we have the X Factor, which is essentially the government X-Men, and then we have the X Force. I think that's the only two we got in that episode. I'm trying to think because I watched it twice. But yeah, those two are fighting for this power vacuum, and this was a very heavy Jubilee episode, which I really liked. It was good seeing her really shine, and so is it weird that Jubilee's like one of my favorite characters? When I used to play Marvel Strike Force back in the day. I know that's like going way back, but I don't play it anymore. But when I was playing Marvel Strike Force and they put out Jubilee as like a legendary character, I saw a lot of like complaints on the forums that Jubilee isn't legendary enough to be a legendary character. And I'm like, who doesn't love Jubilee? Are there really Jubilee haters out there? Are there really people that don't like Jubilee? Like, Jubilee to me is one of my favorite characters. I think she's probably the heart and soul of almost any iteration of that character. I know a lot of people didn't like some of the changes they made to her in the past, but we're talking like OG 90s Jubilee. Oh, yes. So the X-Force intro. I wish I could show it here, but one thing you never do when you're watching X-Men 97 is you do not skip the intro. Don't skip it. Ever. I don't care if you think you should. Don't skip the intro of X-Men 97. You never do that. The X-Force intro was so good for me. Seeing Sunspot, Jubilee, Cable, like all these characters that I love sort of being featured in the intro was crazy to me. By the way, I'm a huge Sunspot fan. Since New Mutants, OG New Mutants, we're talking like back when they first debuted as like a alternate to Teen Titans. I have always loved Sunspot, and I love the way they've evolved his powers. One of my other favorite characters was Cannonball, but, we haven't really done too much with Cannonball, but I love Sunspot, and I love Cannonball. All right, we do have a guest in the... Wait, what did we say? It was the red, white, and blue. I can't remember what we were going to call it. We had another name for the back room. Not the actual back rooms. They're not in the back rooms. We called it the pink room. I can't remember. Somebody said it and I was like, that's amazing. But now I can't remember what it was. Anyway, waiting to come on stage, we have Darren in the house.
Hello,
Darren. How are you?
I'm hot.
Is it really hot in Ohio?
Hot. Oh, it's been like nearly 100 every day of this week.
It's actually, I think it's over, our heat index is still over 90 right now. And it's almost midnight. So... Yeah.
Crazy.
So we're talking non-spoilerishly about X-Men 97, sort of just our general thoughts on stuff. I don't want to spoil the cliffhanger on the third episode. Because, well, you know what? I think most people here have probably watched it, so I don't really think it's a big deal. But I'll ask before we get there. I talked a little bit about episode 1. Have you watched all the episodes yet? Okay.
Yep. How I started my Wednesday morning. I woke up super early. It was like, I have to crack these out before I get spoiled.
Literally, we ended the Nerdcast and it was like 30 minutes before they came out. So I went in the other room and like made food and then waited for it to come on. So what did you think? Because I'm talking about the second episode now, but I haven't really gone too far into it. What did you think of the first episode? The one where they go to the future and it's like Scott, Jean, and Nate and all those characters.
No, I've loved every episode this season pretty much. I think, just you do like a general overview of kind of on all three. I think this season's been very impressive because I think what they're doing is hard. They're dealing with multiple timelines, like 20 plus characters, these very nuanced storytelling with all these crossing overs of certain things. And Eric, we've talked a lot about TV shows that add too many heroes or too many characters and that can't sustain the weight of what they're doing. And I think it's very impressive how they're balancing everything and how well they're going about it. This I legitimately think if this season nails it, if this season is on par all the way through with season 1, I think we might be ready to say this is one of the greatest comic book shows of all time. Like it's up there for me.
And you're already there within episode 3. Like you're already feeling that now with episode 3 of it.
if they can carry that through 2 seasons straight, yeah.
Yeah. X-Men 97 season 9. Wait, season 9.
Well, let's see. If you count the 5 previously, and then nope, that's still 7. So
Yeah,
still
I
off
don't
by
know.
2 seasons.
We did have a super chat here. Let's see, where is it at? Regular Goody Two Shows. Like your show, but go on Trash Cash, you dork. I haven't been asked to go back on. I'm when I'm in the chat contributing, I'm waiting like for the invite. But I think with all the stuff that's going on with like you don't know anything about this, Darren. So with everything going on with Leam and channel banning and stuff like that, I don't think that he wants me on there right now. But I'm always willing to go on and talk, especially if he's talking about something super like drama filled. I love to talk about drama. But yeah, next time I'm in there, I'll say something like, "Hey, I'm over here." Thank you for the super chat, by the way. A $5 super chat from Silhouette Animator says, the old bowl cut haircut member of the Horsemen who cable blew away was last seen in the OG show season 1, episode 10.
Damn.
It's that long ago. That's the OG members of the Four Horsemen of Apocalypse. So if you read the X Factor comic books back in the day, where we met those characters, the design is consistent. Matter of fact, we were sitting there and my friend was like, "That looks so ugly," and I'm like, "It's the actual like real design of that character." That's how Walt Simonson drew the character back in the day when they were doing X Factor with the OG X-Men, which I thought was really cool. $5 super chat from Regular Goody Two Shoes. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The original meaning of the X-Men moral is puberty. Puberty is hard. We all do. No, I do. Yeah, I think that's one of the main things is that because they get their powers at puberty. So that's like the changing of people as they grow up. So yeah, the core of it is that mutant powers. Well, I think it's also that mutant powers represent something that's out of your control. So like how you look or how you develop as a human being isn't always in your control. And so you should, I know this sounds like, kumbaya, save the world or whatever, but we should embrace each other's differences and not be so superficial. I think that's what it means. But I think with the X-Men, the really fun thing is you can whatever allegory you want to apply to it, you can. I mean, I feel like there's a lot that works with the X-Men, but yeah. Let's see. Sanju says, is X-Men X Factor a government mutant group? On the show, I don't want to spoil too much, but the X Factor organization in the comics starts out as like a hidden thing where the X-Men are pretending to go after and get mutants, but actually they are the mutants, but they don't want people to know they are. And it did start out as sort of a branch of like a government oversight and everything. So I think that's essentially what they're trying to do with the X Factor in the cartoon, but it's a completely different lineup. The OG X Factor, like the original X Factor, was the original X-Men, the 5 original X-Men. So Donovan here says X-Men can represent multiple allegories from marginalized groups, people with disabilities. Yeah, I think that's why X-Men is so loved by everyone. Like you can literally put yourself in the shoes of the X-Men with almost any sort of marginalized group, and even outside of the marginalization of it, if you're somebody that feels like you don't fit in for any reason at all, the X-Men represent that as well. So all right, so then we had episode 3, Rise of Apocalypse Part 1. People were saying this was a rage bait episode, and the reason why is because they part 1 a 3-part premiere, meaning that we now have to wait a whole week to get part 2, and they were saying they purposely were rage baiting people with it. I saw this all over the forums. I don't see it as rage bait, in my opinion. I think it's a good cliffhanger. Again, I don't want to say what the cliffhanger is, but it's a really good cliffhanger. And I don't see how you could get rage bait. I mean, look, am I hungering for more? Do I want more from this show? Yes, but I would have wanted more even if it were episode 2 that it left on. Like, this is the show where I don't think like every week last season, it was the same way with me. I just wanted more from the show. Like you said, this could go on to be like one of the greatest, if not the greatest, superhero TV shows of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think modern audiences know how to watch TV. Like, cliffhanger episodes are a staple of television. I mean, the original X-Men show, every other week you would have a to be continued. Like that, like it's one of the shows that popularized that same idea. That's so
Yes.
strange that people are like, no, I want it all now. It's like, no, I want to talk about the cliffhanger for a whole
Well,
week.
this could turn into a conversation about binge and like weekly releases, which I'm always look, the selfish one inside of me would say, yes, I want everything to be bingeable. But the person that loves art and loves community and loves to like build up that community and help people who are in the industry be more successful, the weekly releases, it's just better it's better in so many ways than a binge drop that it's almost hard to argue a binge drop other than being selfish. I mean, with the exception of like, Wonder Man. I think Wonder Man would have been a little tough as a weekly release because the episodes were so short. They were like 20 some minutes each. I think 2 episodes a week of that might have been fine, but I don't know if a week to week of 20-minute episode, because I'm struggling a little bit with my adventures with Superman. Those short episodes and having to wait every week is
sure
a little rough. Anyway. So in the 3rd episode, the time travel rescue mission leads straight to the sands of ancient Egypt, where elements of the team are stranded. However, Forge and Bishop carefully laid plans to retrieve the lost teammates are completely thrown into chaos by the arrival of an unexpected and highly dangerous visitor, setting the stage for the awakening of En Sabat Noor. Now, when we were watching that episode, I was the only person that knew, and I'm going to put this out as a spoiler. It is a spoiler from the episode, but it's been all over the internet already. Having like Kang featured as one of the characters in that 3rd episode. And I thought about it and I'm like, do the X-Men know who this character is? Do they know that, like, I feel like we've seen Kang face off against the X-Men before in the animated series. Am I wrong about that? Am I misremembering that?
Kang?
Yeah.
Kang wasn't.
I know he fought the Avengers, but not the X-Men, right?
I know he's not in the X-Men show. I can't speak on some of the Avengers show or Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah, he's in his Rama Tut form, but he eventually that is the beginning of the Kang is all over in time. So I don't know if it's the beginning or if it's just the continuation of it. But we're gonna see like a Kang versus Apocalypse scenario here play out. I mean, we lead into it in the episode, but I feel like we're gonna get more of this, you know what I mean? I really think is kind of all over the place it is in terms of like the fidelity from the comics. And this is one of the things I've talked about, and I mentioned it to my friends because they were trying to remember how the comics were or whatever. I'm like, you just have to throw that away. You have to throw that away. And I'm not saying throw it away as in don't be excited when things come around, but I think you have to sort of remember that the show is an adaptation of the story. And because of that, you have to allow them to tell that story. Like, wait for it to happen. I know it's difficult because I, being an OG person that loved all the old school comics, like if you ask me about X-Men stuff that happened from like 2005 up, my information on that is very spotty because I only read certain titles. But if you're talking about like OG X-Men stuff from like the 70s, 80s, and mostly the 90s, I know a lot about that. So I want those things to feel consistent in the show, but the show is an adaptation. So I have to take a step back and go, you know what? I'm going to just let them tell the story they're going to tell. Because in reality, I would be very happy if the MCU, right? If the MCU just sort of used notes from X-Men 97 and the X-Men animated series. I would be okay with that. I know it's not totally one for one with the comics, but I think it could work. I think it would make sense in the MCU. And I have a theory, not related to X-Men 97, but I would not be shocked if the MCU introduces us to the more modern 90s X-Men team, and then we just find out that on the world we're on, when they bring everything back together from Doomsday and Secret Wars, that the other X-Men did exist previously, but we don't get them as the starting team. They're just the team that was before the one we have. And they're still out there, and they're still a part of the story, but we don't have to follow the OG team. We kind of start with like the Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, that team instead, the 1976 team, 1975-76 team. But I think it would work if we used a blueprint from this show, because the show, you can tell the first season already kind of told us, but you can tell in this season, these people love the fuck out of the X-Men. They love these characters. They love these stories. And I see what you sent me. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. But I'm really, really happy with the first 3 episodes. I think they're very strong. I think this is a really good start for the season. And it's really funny because the TV season is overlapping with our movie season because we got Spider-Man right around the corner. And so I feel like, and I do feel like Spider-Man has the opportunity to be $1 billion movie. I don't say that about a lot of superhero movies, but Spider-Man's track record is pretty consistent. So I think Spider-Man has a good chance. Also, I think that Spider-Man's marketing and interviews and earned media spots are doing really well. So we got X-Men 97, and people are saying Marvel is back. I'm like, you keep saying that. Marvel is back. When did it go? Like, even in underperforming projects, the quality is usually there. Like, you could argue that Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts didn't perform as well as they wanted it to, but it doesn't mean they're bad. They weren't bad projects. They just didn't do as well as they wanted them to do. It's another discussion about, Captain America 4, but Thunderbolt, like we keep saying that Marvel is like gone away. Where are they at? Whatever. Like, no, we got some strong projects coming up. Spider-Man has the potential to be really good. X-Men 97 season 2 started out with a bang. Doomsday is probably going to be really good. I think the Marvel spots for this year, is that it for this year? Is that everything? Oh, Vision Quest. Right. Yeah. Another one that I think is going to be really good. So we got 4 Marvel things. We're doing one right now. We got 3 of them coming up. I think Marvel's in a good spot for the rest of the year. And by the way, Disney has already made, I think they did was it $4 billion already this year? So, I mean, they're fine. They're fine. Yeah. If y'all are worried about the money, which I'm not, but if you are, they're doing really good at the moment. Oh yeah, the Endgame re-release. That's going to be absolutely crazy, in my opinion.
Well, what's also interesting is they're marketing it as a new movie too. Like it's not like a re-release of the original one. They're like marketing it as a whole new thing. So it could. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I'm very curious to see what's going to happen and how limited it's going to be because I want to see it.
Me too.
But I don't know how they're going to release it. We know it's coming back out for a limited time, but how limited is a limited time? Like, are we talking one night? Like, is it just going to be like a Saturday night or, are we going to get a whole weekend? Are we going to get like a regular 2-week window? Like, what are we talking about here?
I could see a couple. What's the date on that? Is that September?
Let's see. Let's see. September 25th, 2026. What day of the week is that?
September
is that a
25th?
Saturday?
Yeah.
It's a Friday. Which means they might do a Thursday. Like, if it's coming out on a Friday, I feel like we're going to get a full weekend at least.
They kind of got September. Like, there's not a lot coming out in September. Like, it comes out the same weekend as, like, Forgotten Island, which we watched a couple weeks. We watched a trailer for that recently. Besides that, I mean, okay, we got Resident Evil the week before, so that's something. But, like, I think if they actually market this, if they're like, hey, Avengers is back in cinemas, I think it does well. Like, I think people are very willing to go rewatch this
Would
movie.
it be okay? So let me. So Short Car says deadline theorized 3 weeks, so almost a full month release, which is good.
I can make money.
I'll probably So let me just. I'm going to do something a little wacky, right? So this re-release could be another $1 billion movie for them. Like they could you imagine if they make, I mean, even if they make 800 million, like, that's money for a movie that's been out like almost a decade ago, right?
Free money, literally free money. Yeah.
So if they put this thing out and it does $1 billion or close to $1 billion, that's crazy. Yeah. But I feel like it could. I feel like because we're going into Doomsday, people are going to go, you know what? I don't remember Endgame, and this one has got extra scenes in it, which, by the way, we don't know how many extra scenes it actually has. Like, we don't know what that looks like. People are going to want to go and see this. This could be a huge thing for them.
Yeah. Well, also, like, people want to have that experience again. Like, and like, on my show, like, a question I ask people a lot is like, what's your favorite movie theater experience? That's something I ask as an icebreaker. Most people tell me Endgame. Most people tell me that their favorite movie experience is having the crowd yell when, like, he picks up Mjolnir and like all these things. that's another thing that'll be interesting. Are we going to get a Minecraft situation where people are like doing those moments again, but now they're fake because they've already seen it and they're like throwing the popcorn and they're screaming and stuff like that? I feel like we've never seen like a re-release on this scale before.
Right.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Silhouette Animator talking about X-Men 97, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. By the way, I think they fixed the super chat issue. I put it at any level and it's working. So thank goodness for that. Says, I appreciate how well the show is with continuity, meaning X-Men 97. I do too. And Darren, you were talking about how difficult it is to juggle like this many characters. And I mean, they do a good job with it. Like, honestly, it's one of the more daunting things they've had to deal with. Let's see here. The head ninja with a $4.99 super chat says, I feel bad for laughing every time Wolverine broke his claw since they're bone now. Yeah, but they come back like immediately, which is with his healing factor, but it is pretty funny. I like Wolverine's suit, but he wasn't quite as like savage as I wanted to be. So we'll see what happens with that. I think they might have just been giving us a nod to that character from the comics, but that's fine. It was still cool. Thank you for the super chat. Silhouette Anime with the $5 super chat says he was a mortis in the OG show's Axis of Time arc, but he didn't. Kang. He showed himself as that to the audience after they left the Axis. Okay, so they're not familiar with all of the different versions of this character, which is really interesting.
I wonder if you could do like this show has done a really big world building stuff with like making sure you know that the Avengers are there and stuff like that. Like
Morph turned into Thor in the episode, which I thought was kind of funny.
Like we know Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Black Panther, like
Spider-Man.
What if they did an arc? Like maybe not this season, but next season with Kang and like the Avengers. Like what if we have the Avengers getting involved and stuff? Like I could see it.
I'm actually shocked they haven't pitched like an Avengers 90s type cartoon.
I would love that.
You know, with like the roster from the 90s and some of those stories. I'm surprised they didn't do that.
And you can even throw Spider-Man in there too. Like if you don't want to do a full like revival for Spider-Man, do an Avengers show, throw him in there as like one of the side plots in said show.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool.
Cody here says comic book fans want everything to be too faithful. I agree with this. I think this is one of the things I've had to sort of train myself over the years to get away from is I've always said you don't judge movies on what they aren't, you judge them on what they are. And a lot of times I find myself falling into that trap of like, oh, but the comic books did this, so therefore this doesn't happen or it shouldn't happen or whatever. I find myself doing that, and I think that's a problem. I need to like be more open for that and not so rigid about these things. But thank you for that member chat. I do appreciate it. 77 months. Thank you so much. Donovan says, what about the Spider-Man 90s revival? I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest.
It's
like, I have no idea.
Like, it's not like people want, like, you know, people can say they want to do it all the live long day, but like, I think the main thing currently is like we have a Spider-Man show airing at this time.
The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Sure, and I don't think they want 2 ongoing Spider-Man shows plus the movies plus the Sony stuff. Like, that's a lot. So I would personally wait for Spider-Man to run its course, maybe even wait until X-Men run its course. And if you're not doing an Avengers thing, then you could do it. Be like, all right, guys, it's back, and now you can do it now. But
Anarin says, I do find the whole comic book accuracy being a massive talking point funny, as adaptation accuracy is not everything. I've been saying this for a while, though. Like I said, I need to be better about making sure that I'm not doing it. But I've said for a while that if you want a one-for-one translation, you don't leave room for artistic interpretation. And I feel like as long as you're doing it justice, I don't mind too much. We got a $5 super chat from Rudo, which takes us to our goal for the day in the Reloaded channel. So thank you so much for that. Chainsaw believes that it was Onslaught talking to Xavier. So in that scene where Xavier is inside the mind of started with an L, one of the lackeys for Ramatut. I can't remember his name now. Somebody in the chat probably remembers, but he was in his mind. He was getting this speech, right? And I swear I've heard that speech before. Am I crazy? The speech about like the rivers and crashing. No, that was like crashing against the rocks or whatever. I feel like I've heard that speech before. And I'm like, where have I heard this? I swear it's...
season 1 finale, maybe. Like there was
Was
a lot
it?
of like water metaphors with when
I
Xavier goes
think it was
into Magneto's
Apocalypse.
mind. Okay.
I think Apocalypse said it, right? Silhouette Amber said that's Apocalypse old speech in the old show. Yeah, I knew it sounded familiar to me. I heard it and I was like, this sounds similar. Like, I don't think it's exactly the same, but I think it was similar to what he said. Now, as far as it being Onslaught, I mentioned earlier, I would love to see Onslaught. But a lot of people also believe, and this is, I see a comment here. Where's it at? Oh my gosh, how did I miss this? I just had it here. Right here. Silhouette Animator says Isan, which is one of the Celestials, who is tied to the story. So it could be Isan talking to Charles because we're leading up towards what's going to happen with Apocalypse. That's what I think is going on with that speech. But I thought it was really cool. Let's see here. We got another super chat from Lone Wolf. Good to see you, Lone Wolf. $5 super chat says, the speech is from Apocalypse in another episode. However, if you look at the credits in the episode, it says the voice was... Oh, so in the credits, it actually credits the voice as Isan. It sounded like a voice actor I recognized, though. I don't know who it was. But it sounded very similar.
Oh. Your audio's out, buddy.
Good, Darren.
Oh.
There you are. You're okay.
Are you back?
Yeah, did I like flip out for a second?
Audio was completely gone. Yeah.
Yours was gone too for me. I couldn't hear you. So it's got to be StreamYard. By the way, StreamYard keeps adding really cool things. Now we can like resize things because remember how when you would stream to vertical and horizontal, you couldn't change anything in the vertical? Apparently now you can do that. So that's kind of cool, but still the person broadcasting can minimize it, but people that are here as guests can't. So you have to watch both the screens. It's really annoying. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I really, really enjoy where the show is going. And if you guys want to continue to talk about it, you can, because we're going to read an article about the show here in a second. Let's see. Donovan says, with X-Men 97 being on another level in its own league, MCU X-Men better. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. I think no matter what, the MCU X-Men are going to be held to the standard of this cartoon because it's so good.
I was thinking about it, and I was just talking to Ronan about this on his stream tonight, but I do wonder if Kevin Feige maybe regrets greenlighting 97, because if they hadn't really done anything with X-Men, they could have had a slam dunk with their movies, because the expectations would have been low for this next movie, right? Due to the Fox movies. Now the expectations are so unbelievably high. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything the movies can do to be on the level of the show currently. Like, it's tough.
It's impossible, because this is like season 7 of the show.
Yeah.
And it's been well received with almost zero complaints. So,
and like also like those first 5 seasons I think can work as like the origins of it, where now we're kind of in the like Infinity War Endgame saga of this universe, because they already did all the build up. They don't have they have to build up to it. They have to start small and work their way back up again. So they have the benefit of like not having to redo all that stuff.
We got a super chat from Silhouette Animator here. It says $5 super chat. Thank you, Silhouette Animator. Erishim's, I think it's Erishim or Erishim. I don't know which way it's pronounced, but it's the Celestial from the MCU. Judgment in the MCU should lead to the birth of Insa Batnor. Maybe time travels to 3000 BC and creates a little ripple in the timeline. Well, we don't really know what Loki's role is going to be in all this, because remember, Loki is sort of like the center of time in the MCU right now. So if Loki can't do anything about some of the stuff that's happening with Doom and Franklin Richards, it's going to be really tough for anybody else to like do anything. So I don't know. We'll have to see what the situation is. But this sounds like a logical way to do it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with this particular way. But yeah, thank you so much. Lone Wolf, the $2 super chat says, also recommend Riverside joined YouTubers before. Oh, the Riverside app. So I talked about this, I think, before you got here, Darren. So I've used it a couple times when StreamYard hasn't worked, but Riverside, you know what Riverside is, right? You're familiar with it?
Yeah.
They offer more. Somebody told me they didn't want to pay for StreamYard, but they wanted to retain some of the things that StreamYard does. And I've always said that, see you later, Dalton. Take care. Riverside gives you for free. There's a lot of things that Riverside gives you for free that StreamYard took away. And one of them is like, if you want to invite people in for like a conference, you can do up to 200 people on Riverside for free. So if you want to watch a movie or a TV show or something, you can do it on Riverside without broadcasting to YouTube. So there's no copyright or trademark issues with that. So I was mentioning that we might do like a movie night on Riverside, and I could just put the link out for people and they can join in. First come, first serve. You can do up to 200 people. So, yeah, you said MCU specifically. Yeah, I figured you were Silhouette Animator. Thank you so much. We got Space and Goats, member for 7 months. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Seeing Jubilee's new look made me happy. I don't know if you heard before you got here or not, but I'm so excited about Jubilee. I love Jubilee. She's one of my favorite characters. And she was getting all the flowers from me in episode 2 of this. So, what do you think about Jubilee?
Oh, I mean, she might be one of the biggest glow-ups in, like, TV history. Like, I've always liked her, but, like, she always got the short end of the stick in that original show. She was always the kid character, and she always got tossed around. And they made her an actual, like, compelling and well-written and really badass character, which she is long deserved. I was so happy with what they did with her in episode 2.
Cody says, speaking of Loki, there's music from that in episode 3. Did I not catch that? Where's it at?
I didn't catch it either, but it's towards the end, I think, around the explosion point.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Like at the very end of the episode.
I think so. Which, I mean, if we are doing Kang, who shows up in Loki? Like,
this could allow. Look, low key. That is a pun there. Low key could actually play into something that got dropped with the Quantum Mania storyline. That they could actually use Kang in the cartoon in a way that they couldn't in the movies because of all the drama that happened.
How funny would that be if they're just like, let's wrap it up here. Let's wrap it up in X-Men 97.
Let's see here. Naruto with a $5 super chat says, apparently the credits of episode 3 reveal. So it's in the credits too. So it is intentional. Like it wasn't like people just hearing something. Like it literally is.
It's so
but you know what? I like the idea. Like you mentioned a like season 3 arc where we're dealing with Kang and Avengers and X-Men 97 and like a big story with all these characters. I mean, they could do it if they wanted. It's not like they don't have rights to these characters. They can use almost all of them. I don't know about Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man allowed to cross over into the X-Men stuff?
I mean, he appeared last season twice, so...
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I wonder if they have to get permission. I don't know the way the rights work with that.
I think animation's okay. Like, I think that's why I was able to share in, like, zombies and, like, what if. Because I think animated's all good. It's just... live action TV shows he can't appear in.
Okay, that makes sense. I always get confused on the way that works. I always have to look it up whenever I'm talking about it, but I was being really lazy. Thank you for the super chat, Naruto, as well. All right, while we're talking about X-Men 97, you shared a tweet. I pulled up the article, though. Here we go.
He won't leave us be.
I know. Let me scroll up here. This is the article. X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo says Marvel treated him like a DEI hire. By the way, I want to point out, remember, I think it was last year, he said they removed his name from the credits in season 2, but they didn't. His name is still in the credits.
Yeah.
So what was that? Was that a lie? I don't know, because when it was airing, the first episode ended, I saw his name. I was like, he's like at the top of the credits. It was really weird. Anyway, this article here, nearly 2 years after suing Marvel, Bo DeMeo has opened up about the alleged treatment he endured leading up to his March 2024 termination. The X-Men 97 creator, who was ousted from the show ahead of the premiere, claimed he was very honest about his OnlyFans work with Marvel Studios Animation, adding he felt like a DEI hire during his tenure with the MCU. Let's unpack this for a second, right? Just the DEI hire thing. I don't really understand, because I want to be very honest. When people say DEI or DEIA, I don't think people know what that means. Right? Like DEI hires, if you're using it in the way it's actually done through studios, just means they open up the opportunities for more people to apply for jobs.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it means. It's not a quota thing. People keep talking about some quota. It's not a quota thing. Most initiatives are just to give people more opportunities. That's what DEIA means when it comes to the hiring process. It doesn't mean we have to have 10 black people. Like, that's not the way it works. But we'll see what he says in this quote, if there's anything more about it. But now we're talking about the OnlyFans thing. It was cleared, DeMaio told Vanity Fair. It was like, it's your personal life. As long as you're not advertising the show on your OnlyFans, as long as you're keeping it very separate from the content of the show, it's outside of their purview. Now, I'm just going to say, I don't know for sure what they said to him, but I can only imagine if he was intending to put like straight up X-rated adult content on his OnlyFans, and that was going to be connected to his public profile, which thus connects him to X-Men 97. I don't think they would be okay with that. I just don't think they would. I hate to call shenanigans, but I can't imagine that you have someone who is this involved, the showrunner for one of your most popular properties, who could possibly, because look, maybe he wasn't going to put adult content on there. Maybe it was just going to be thirst traps, right? But he could put adult content on there, right? Like he could do that. So it's like you have a successful OnlyFans because of your connection to X-Men 97 and to Marvel, and then you decide one day you're going to post peen on your OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine a world where they would have been okay with him having this OnlyFans. What do you think about that? Do you have an opinion about it? I just don't see it as being something that would be okay with.
I'm trying to separate like fact from rumor, because I'm saying this with expiration points because I don't know. Wasn't the original allegations it was at the workplace? Like he was using it at Marvel's, like while he was doing, like, to me, like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
I was gonna say part of the allegations were, just before you finish, so you have it all. Part of the allegations were that he was sending inappropriate thirst traps to other coworkers.
Yeah, right.
Those thirst traps were also connected to his OnlyFans. That was the original issue.
Yeah, like me personally, I don't care if he has it. Like, I believe people should do what they want in their free time. I'm fine with that, whatever. But yeah, like once we start involving other people, once you're doing it at the workplace, once you're involving your other coworkers, that's where it gets dicey for me. And you know, I stand by my statement on him. To me, it doesn't matter if this is true or not. It's such a big part of his character, what he's done since being outed at Marvel. It's how he's reacted. It's how he's handled the situation. Every comment he's taken against every other IP that's been at Marvel has been very unprofessional. He's attacked like the Fantastic Four movie, and he's like, you didn't use OnlyFans at work, but come join my OnlyFans to see what really happened. It's like,
well, that was the other thing, is that his original like I'm innocent video was posted on his OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
That was where it was. Like, I think like several months later he finally uploaded it to his YouTube, but before that it was just on his OnlyFans. You had to pay his OnlyFans to see that video, which means you're inviting people to pay for this, which, look, if you want to upload exclusive content, that's absolutely okay, right?
Yeah.
I think the issue is it's an OnlyFans. It's not like you're doing it behind a Patreon or, you know, what was one of the other ones, like a YouTube membership or something like that. You're not hiding it there. You're posting it on a platform that is kind of known for adult content. So I could sign up to see that video and then get ass shots. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess some people do want that, but I don't think your apology should be there, or not your apology, but I guess your side of the story should be there.
I also just think the timing for this article is obviously very planned. Like, they want it to coincide with the release of this new season. It's like, now that it's relevant again, let's bring up the old drama. And I think Bo knows this. I think Deadline did this article. I think they know that as well.
Well, Deadline has it, but it came from a Vanity Fair interview. That's where it originated at.
Gotcha.
So that doesn't really surprise me. Also, Bo has been very quiet for the most part up until this.
Yeah.
Because I tried to find anything he's doing, podcasts he'd been on, anything else he'd been saying, but it's been like silence from him, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes on to talk about the DEI hire stuff. He says, recalling comments like, "Oh, you don't look like a showrunner and you don't look like a writer," which neither one of those comments have anything to do with DEI, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't sound like, oh, this is a DEI comment. But he says there was a vibe that I was the DEI hire, like where they just got a gay black guy because he checks all the marks and it's the X-Men. Like, really? From his coworkers, the ones that he says were supportive of him and none of them threw him under the bus? I don't know. It's a little confusing.
Yeah.
He says, in addition to earning a season 2 renewal for X-Men 97 before the first episode even premiered, DeMeo was asked to punch up the ultimately doomed Blade reboot starring Mahershala Ali. Some of those racist, sexist, homophobic vibes I was getting before Blade became much more explicit, said DeMeo of returning to X-Men 97. What? Some of those racist, sexist, homophobic vibes that I was getting before Blade became much more explicit. So what were they? What was it being said and done that was explicit? Why just say what it is?
Yeah.
Like, why are we not? This is one of those situations where just say it. You're already not employed by Marvel. You know, people want to support you. When somebody's in this position, I want to support them. If they're actually being mistreated, I want to support that. Like, what can I do to support that? But you haven't made any demands to the fans. You didn't say don't watch the show or anything like that. You haven't said, and you're not telling us. Like, if somebody just said you don't look like a showrunner, what does that mean? Like, maybe because you look young? Maybe that's not the vibe you're giving, since we're running on vibes. He said that was the vibe he got was DEI hire. Maybe that's not the vibe they got. I don't know. It says DeMeo abruptly exited as head writer of the Disney Plus Marvel series in March 2024 ahead of its premiere. At the time, he had been completed writing seasons 1 and 2 of the animated series, which premiered to strong reviews. It's been very traumatic, he said. He added, "I thought it was a safe space and then quickly found out I was not in a safe space. My therapist is well employed." Holy shit. Okay. It's your workplace. You're there to work. Work can sometimes be differences of opinion. Work can sometimes not be the most comfortable place to be. I don't know what you mean by safe space. I don't even understand that reference. Like, what does that mean in the context of being at work? Later that year, DeMeo claimed Marvel notified him they stripped my season 2 credits over a piece of X-Men fan art he posted for Pride Month. "Sadly, this is the latest in a troubling pattern I suffered while working on X-Men 97 and Blade," he wrote on social media at the time. It says here, following DeMeo's claims, a Marvel spokesperson said in a statement, "Mr. DeMeo was terminated in March 2024 following an internal investigation given the egregious nature of the findings. We severed ties with him immediately and have no further he has no further affiliation with Marvel." So I'm assuming that Bo lied about them removing his season 2 credits because they never made a statement about that. So I'm assuming that never happened.
Yeah.
You know, because he's still on there and Marvel never made a statement about removing him. He just decided, oh, there's a piece of artwork here with me for Pride Month and they stripped me of my season 2 credits, which, by the way, I don't even know how they could do that legally. If they're using any of his writing at all, they can't legally remove his name from the credits. They can remove him from everything else. Like, they don't have to have him at like any premieres or anything, but you can't remove him from the credits. The company would not comment further. According to Marvel sources, DeMeo was investigated for alleged sexual misconduct, and the credit removal was due to the breaches of two-side separation agreements. But he wasn't removed, so I don't know what that even means. In September 2024, DeMeo called the allegations false after his attorney, Brian Friedman, called out Disney's repetitive illegal pattern in a statement. Once it gets challenged or exposed, the gaslighting and redirection of the blame toward anyone willing to tell the truth starts through an international, well-oiled publicity machine. That was back in 2024, with nothing since then. Bo DeMeo wants nothing from Marvel Disney except the truth. He will barely He will bravely tell the truth. So will I. Stand by. Stand by. There we go. Stand by for what? What are we going to get? What's going to happen? If somebody is being mistreated, I want to be on your side, but I can't do it otherwise. The article is from July 1st, 2026. Salam. So I'm assuming that this interview was done and they put it up with all the old information, which is why I was reading it, just in case people didn't know. But also part of Bo's agreement with Marvel was that he wouldn't be talking about X-Men 97 once he was let go from the team. But then he kept doing it. Like the whole time season 1 was running, he was still talking about the show. He was still going on podcasts. He was still doing interviews, things that he was, from his own admission, he was told not to do. But he still did it anyway. So there you go. There you go, Bo. All right, so let's go ahead. I want to watch a trailer with everybody. This is the trailer for Star Wars. What is it? Is it the Ninth Jedi? Is that the name of it?
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Let's give it a shot. See what it looks like. Here we go.
銀河系からジェダイもシスも消えてしまった。宇宙の秩序は乱れに乱れ、恐ろしき戦国の世となっていたのだ。
探しているのは共に銀河のために立ち上がってくれる者たちです。新たなジェダイと共に戦ってくれる兵がいなければ。
あなたジェダイなの？えっ？
我が名はナワーム。銀河の秩序をもたらす者。
ナワームを止めたいだけです。
カイバークリスタルを兵器に使うだって。
It looks beautiful.
発射。
お前にできるわけない。
これは危険な任務だぞ。
ちょいと揺れますぞい。
これはジーマ殿が鍛えた使い手の心を映すセーバーだ。
あの光、ナワームはジェダイ。ジェダイは正義のために戦ってる。
フォースとやらの導きはあるか。そういうお前は正義とやらのために何人殺した？
Wow, this looks pretty good. I enjoyed Star Wars Visions. There's a little bit here at the end. I enjoyed Visions. Did you ever watch Visions at all?
Nope.
So it's an anthology series. Do you know what it is, though?
Yeah.
It's like it's an anthology series. Right. Yeah, it's like individual stories, like what ifs or whatever. But it's done with different styles in each one. So it's a different writer, different director, different artist. So it looks really good. Spacey Ghost says we need more Disney anime. I agree with this. I agree.
So I know each episode, like I know not every episode of Visions was canon. Is this was this continuity canon, or is this kind of off on its own?
You know what? I don't know. I know that the other ones are all just like whatever they are, their little pocket worlds or whatever, but I'm not sure about this one. Xana says, I wish she was older and more of a Mara Jade kind of Jedi, but still rather cool. And right here, Fetman says, looks great. We need a Ronin spinoff anime. I would agree with that as well. Harrison says, I'm so hyped. One of my favorite episodes of Vision. Jose here with the member chat. Thank you so much. Says, hey, Darren, did you hear they're shutting down the TV Time app?
Yeah, I did hear that. That's crazy. I mean, I
is that the one where you like go through and talk about TV shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like a version of like Letterboxd, but for TV, basically. I mean, I switched over to serialized years ago at this point, so not a huge hurdle for me. But it is interesting everyone going over to them because TV time has shut down and stuff like that. But no, it's crazy stuff.
Let's see here. Short Car says, sorry, I'll read you said Xana in a second. Do you think non-Star Wars fans can start with? I think you need to watch the episode from Visions first.
Sure.
Like find that episode, watch that one episode, and then jump into this. That's how I would do it. Even if you don't want to watch all of Vision, watch the one episode. But yeah, so all of these Vision episodes, for the most part, I won't say all of them. Most of them are very easy to jump into. Like if you just want to watch one of them. Yeah, Harrison says probably the best kind of Star Wars for non-Star Wars fans. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I'm going to try and use Serialize then, Jose says.
Yes, very good app. I mean, you know, like I'm always down for Disney and these big IPs to do new stuff, do different stuff, try new things, and this is definitely them trying new things. So
very good. We got a super chat here. Actually, we have a comment from Zana first that I was going to do. Did you guys talk about Sony ditching disc in a few years? I know it's a bit of a game thing, but still made me rather bitter. We can talk about it very briefly because, you know, we don't really talk about gaming all the time on the Nerdcast, but it's more than gaming. I think it's leading towards like Sony pulling back from physical media altogether, which I think is a bad sign. I've never been a fan of digital only. Like I've never been a fan where something comes out and it's only available in digital and you can never get it anywhere else. I've never liked that. So this is really crazy. I've never purchased anything from the Sony, like I've never watched movies or purchased movies from the Sony store. So I don't have to worry about that. But I have purchased movies through Google Play and through YouTube. And luckily for me, I don't think Google or YouTube is going to shut off any of those movies that I've paid for. But I would suggest if you have something you really love and it is available on physical, go online and get that physical or go to because a lot of it's older stuff. Go to thrift stores, go to places like that and get a copy of it, either DVD or Blu-ray. Like DVD players are actually making a comeback. I was looking online today and there's lots of modern DVD players now. So you can get those as well. Gaming is in a weird spot because they also, I believe Sony also is shutting down the PS Vita and PS3 shops where games are played. So if you're somebody that still owns those systems, I don't think you can access a lot of your games anymore if they're digital only. They're just gone. So I think this might be a breaking point for consumers. I think there's going to be a lot of consumers that buy a lot of video games that are just going to, they're not going to be happy with this and they may not participate in this, this digital only world. So I don't know. We'll see. Cameron says $5 super chat. Thank you, Cameron. Eric, remember Batman is getting a new butler and somehow related to Alfred. Matt Fraction revealed her name is Verity and she is Alfred's great niece. I do remember that. We looked at that picture, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Maybe it was longer than that. Time sort of bleeds together for me a little bit. But yeah, I remember seeing that. And also I'm looking forward to all of the Absolute Batman animated stuff that we're going to be getting. I think that might lead into an Absolute animated universe. And I know this isn't necessarily connected to that, but it got me thinking about the Absolute universe. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very good for the animation. I still feel like we're in animation renaissance world right now. We're getting so much good animated stuff in general. And I actually think that the Absolute Batman green light tells me that they also realize how good animation is at the moment. So, Cody says, $5 super chat. This is confirmed to be post The Rise of Skywalker by thousands of years. Oh.
Okay.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
I mean, that forward to that. Do whatever they want, really. Like,
yeah, I mean, if we're talking thousands of years, they're not going to be stepping on anybody's toes, for sure.
No. only issue with that is like years later, are they gonna like step on their toes, being like, "Well, this contradicts this," or whatever.
Yeah. But look, I just like with Star Trek Discovery, when they jumped ahead by 1,000 years in their timeline, it was like they're doing that, so I didn't care too much about continuity because you're so far ahead in the timeline that it just doesn't matter. So that's kind of cool. Thank you for that, Cody. I appreciate it. So Space and Goat says, I feel like I'm the only person who's excited for Hexed. What about you, Darren?
Yeah, I'm I guess also one of the only people that are excited for Hex. But I'm kind of a Disney fiend, so I'm pretty excited for it. And I don't. Have you seen all the like Owl House discourse with it? Did you guys talk about that when the trailer came out?
It was one night when you weren't here. Yeah, we talked about it. But yeah, what? Because I was hoping you were going to be here because when it happened, I was like, this is something that Darren probably would want to talk about.
Well, no,
so.
it's such an interesting controversy because like Owl House did not invent that template of story. In fact, when Owl House aired, Owl House got a lot of flack because people are like, well, this is just Harry Potter. Like, you're just copying Harry Potter. So it is very interesting they're doing this. To the point, if I'm not mistaken, Hex started production, I think the same year, maybe the year before Owl House even came out. So it isn't a thing of like, well, they're copying Owl House because they're spiting them or like all these things. It's like, does it look a little basic? Sure, but it's not copying it outside of some small little details. I don't know. I think this is a situation where we just kind of got to give it a chance. Like I think we just need to, like, not to say we can't judge a book by its cover, but like, I don't know, give it at least a little bit of a chance before internet going ham on it.
It was interesting. I did a video today about Sydney Watson, a very requested person for me to cover here on my Reloaded channel. And I missed a little detail where she said, and some people were talking about it in the comments of that video. And when I was watching it, I didn't hear it correctly, but she said that with Supergirl, and I'll explain about judging a book by its cover here is where I'm going with this. But she explained she was waiting for the Supergirl reviews to come out, I guess, before she talked about it because she didn't go and see it. So I'm watching her video and she's just reading other people's reviews, making up her own opinion on the movie based on other people's reviews of the movie. And then all this discourse that happened before Supergirl. I actually appreciate when people want to watch something and then talk about it. If you want to boycott something, like say, for example, the new Harry Potter series is coming out. And you're like, sure. I don't want to watch it because I don't want to support J.K. Rowling in any way possible. And that is your personal stance on it, right? So if you do that, then I suspect you don't want to talk about it at all, because then that tells me that you're not interested in it and you don't want to engage in the media at all. But then when you have something like Supergirl where people are like, I'm never going to watch it, it's awful, it's garbage, and blah, 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 et cetera, but then you're still talking about it after it came out. You could have gone and seen it and then gave an actual opinion about it.
Yeah.
That's possible. Plus, people sail the seas as a pirate and find ways to watch stuff. You can't even bother to do that. So why are you talking about it? It's so weird. And then she admitted at the beginning of the video that she was just doing it because YouTube's algorithm was rewarding people for it. It's just really stupid. It's really, really dumb. But I also want to point out with Supergirl, I have noticed a lot of people have not seen it yet that typically would go out and support these kinds of movies. Excuse me. It's very weird. I want to talk anecdotally about that very briefly, and then we're going to look at a post on everybody's favorite shit site, Twitter. And it's not a negative post. It's something that I think is important. But a lot of people that I know in real life, IRL, have not gone and seen the movie yet. They're like, I'm going to go see it this week. I'm going to see it next week, whatever. They didn't go on opening weekend. So I find it a little weird that this movie just didn't have that interest to the general audience. And I think that was the problem, was it didn't connect with the general audience that would normally go out and see a superhero movie. For some reason, this one, and when I asked them why, it wasn't because of the red carpet, it wasn't because of something Millie Alcock says, it wasn't because she was unattractive. They just didn't really have much interest in this story because I don't think they packaged it correctly. Like, I don't think DC or Warner Brothers packaged it correctly. But I don't know how to fix that. I don't know what the solution was, but
I think ultimately, I think it just looked like a lot of things people saw before. I think, and I think He-Man probably fell into the same category.
Guardians of the Galaxy with
like
character.
the Thor Ragnarok, this kind of like even a bit of like Shazam in there. Like it is kind of a mix of a bunch of the things you've seen before, which isn't even inherently true, but I think from just like a marketing standpoint, it didn't really have this, hey, you have to see this because, you know, next year there'll be another one, and then like the year after that there'll be another movie just like this, and you know, you know, again, you're like surrounded by movies like Toy Story, like those Toy Story movies are event movies. They don't come out with a new Toy Story every year,
and they bait childhood nostalgia for a lot of people. So that's another big thing. And which, by the way, go ahead, finish what you're saying.
Word of mouth, I think, is also one of the biggest things. Like, I think with movies like this, people were waiting to be like, what are people saying? Like, I think that's why Superman did so well, because it started off kind of whatever, but everyone was like, hey, this is great. You have to go watch this movie. You have to go see this movie. And Supergirl just didn't have that. And I think it really...
Well, not only that, but it was sandwiched between Minions and Toy Story. So there wasn't a lot of like room for Supergirl. Harrison says, positive word of mouth is too big for the casual movie going audience with how expensive tickets can be these days. That's another thing. If you have to choose between like Toy Story and Minions and Supergirl, and you have a family and you have nostalgia, you got two very nostalgic movie franchises versus Supergirl, which, no offense, but it's just whoever decided to put Supergirl in between these two movies,
it was a bad call.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
And I'm really curious because, you know, we're going into, I don't know if it's next weekend or if it's the following weekend, but like we're about to see Moana, which is a movie we thought at the start of the year was going to be big. It was going to do very well. And I'm now thinking it's going to do bad. Like, from things we're hearing, it's not tracking very well. And I was like, why? Like, why is this so much different than all these other ones? And I think there's not the, like, nostalgia experience. I don't know if you saw it today, but they sort of
it's too new of a film, basically.
Yeah.
Or not a film. It's too new of a character. It doesn't pull in the nostalgia, right?
Well, like, literally today, and I bet it'll be officially confirmed probably at D23, Moana 3 is happening. Why in hell would I go watch a live-action Moana that I've already seen before, that I know will be the exact same story, when I can just wait 2 years and see the sequel to the movie we actually want to see?
Especially considering how good Moana 2 did. Like,
$1 billion. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are worried that Moana's live action may not be, because the thing is, the live action Disney movies are truly hit or miss. Like, they don't always make a lot of money. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Moana could be one of these off ones where it's like, it just doesn't make a lot of money. Plus, we have people that went to see Toy Story, then 2 weeks later they see Minions. Are they going to go 2 weeks later and see Moana? Like, that's a lot of money for a family.
I think this might be one of the bigger Disney live action flops that they've put out in terms of like actual money, which would be very interesting to see the like trajectory of of the like Disney universe, and like will the like trajectory of the live action Disney universe change forever, as Dwayne would say. Again, I think it's weird too, because like people are like, well, Disney will learn their lesson, but like Lilo and Stitch 2 is in a couple years, and I think that will probably do very well. And like we're still working on Hercules and stuff like that, so like I don't know. I'd like if they could finally move on from some of these projects. I'd love if they could be like, not even ditch them, but just do them differently. Like my favorite versions of these, and I'm sorry I went on a whole rant, but like I think my favorite version of these are like when they do something really new with it. Like I like Maleficent, I like Mufasa, I like Cruella, where it's like, oh, we're doing something creatively interesting with these IPs that we already have that can make us some money.
I looked over here. So heading into July 10th, 2026 theatrical release. Oh, wow. That is very soon. Wow. It's not even giving Minions time to breathe yet. Disney's live-action reimagining Moana is currently tracking for a solid, though somewhat modest, domestic opening weekend.
Okay.
So it's looking the long-range forecast based on sales and interest is 65 million to 85 million in North America. So 65 to 85. It says, while 85 is a very healthy opening for summer releases, it's considered a softer projection by Disney live-action standards. There was a $146 million opening for Lilo and Stitch over the holiday weekend, which, by the way, this isn't a holiday weekend. It's July 10th, so it's after the holiday. Which, by the way, I think that was another mistake. I think even with Minions out, this would have been an ideal weekend this weekend to release live-action Moana. But I don't think they wanted to go up against Toy Story 5, to be quite honest.
And Minions, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking it up. A rumored budget is about 200 million.
Of course it is. Well, The Rock is super expensive, so
Yeah.
that's probably a big part of that budget.
Big, like, visual effects, giant crabs and sea monsters, and so much of it is like CGI and stuff like that. So I get it, but like, again, you could have just. This is my thing. You could have just done Moana 2. It'd be a quarter of that budget and probably made significantly more money.
It says over here, this is interesting. In this article here from Variety, it says Moana is stepping directly into a crowded market for the family demographic. Remember we talked about this last year that family movies are like the movies that people are seeing now. So it says it's a crowded market for the family demographic. It lands just a few weeks after Toy Story 5 and only 8 days after Minions and Monsters.
Yeah.
It says creating competition for theaters and parents' wallets.
And what I think is very interesting, like we just talked about the like word of mouth. I'm actually going to send you a thing really quickly. Word of mouth is important, and I think these like Minion movies have become very like, okay, it's another one. And this thing I'm just about to send you, the like reviews for this new Minions movie are really positive, like more positive than they've ever been before.
Oh, really? I thought you said you were going to like skip this one out or whatever.
I was, and now I saw this, and I'm like, you know what? I might have to. I might have to check it out.
All right, so let me move the widget up in the corner so it's not blocking you. So it says here from discuss. I did make sure it's not discussing fish. I'm not going to get fished again. That's like a new thing. Like apparently people keep getting tricked by it, so they're like, "You got fished again." Minions and Monsters is now certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes at 90%, highest rated Illumination film ever. So are you going to go, Darren? Is this something you're going to pull out your wallet for and go see?
Now I have to. And now I'm too curious not to. I don't know, man. Like, and apparently, again, people who have seen it, like I've talked to some of my friends who have seen it, they're like, yeah, it's weirdly good. Like, it's like they just made a good movie. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's insane. It took them 7 movies to make a truly great Minions movie.
Fetma says George Lucas's cameo saved the movie.
Oh my god.
Xana says, damn, did I think it would get more than Mario? Yeah, 90% is crazy for a Minions movie. Like, you would think over time this would get old, but apparently people love it. I don't know.
Illumination isn't necessarily known for its critical success. Like, it does well at the box office. Fans love it, but like...
Well, if it's 90% critics, it's probably going to be higher for fans.
Yeah.
It could be like in 97, 98 range.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. Anyway, while we are doing that, I typed up my little list since we've already hit the goal in the Reloaded chat. We only need 2 more super chats and debunks, and you guys get to choose 2. We're doing a top 5 at some point. This is a top 5 one. Top 5 favorite episodes of TV, meaning across anything, all genres. Your favorite episodes of TV. This could be one of them. Number 2 is favorite movies from your childhood. So things when you were growing up. So think 17 and under. If you were 19 years old, you were not a child. It does not count. So 17 and under. Number 3 is worst movies from your childhood. So things that may have triggered you or left you with a bad impression. And the last one is fave superheroes of all time. Now, this is a top 5 list. We haven't done a top 5 in a while, so this is kind of exciting. We will do 2 of these if we end up getting 2 more super chats in the debunks chat. Right now, we've already hit it in the reloaded. 2 more in the debunks, and we'll do 2 of them. Or if we get a tie. Right now, 1 and 2 are tied. If we get a tie, we end up doing that. So, Lone Wolf for the challenge super chat says, sent Discord DM. Not sure if you want to talk about it. Let me see what it is. Let's see what you sent over. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I actually have an article set up just in case, so we will discuss that. But thank you for the super chat, Lone Wolf. Thank you for supporting. Good to see you here. All right, so let's do this. We're going to pull that down. And remember, guys, if you want to vote, it's really simple. The StreamYard voting thing is just hit the number of what you want. And if you want to cheat the system, you can jump between channels and vote twice. Just saying. If you vote here and you go to debunks, you can vote again. If you're in debunks, you come to reloaded, you can do it again. So it's a little cheat they do with the system. This is what I wanted to share about Supergirl. I feel like this whole argument about Supergirl is sort of running out of steam. I've seen a lot of channels still trying to milk it. I made a video about it today. I said with the Sydney Watson thing, and I mentioned that it's out of gas, it's out of fuel at this point. I just don't think the discourse makes a lot of sense anymore. Clearly, the people that said the movie wasn't going to be successful, they weren't doing it based on any logical reason. It was always something dumb. But it says here from Pop Buzz, and I'm surprised they even posted this, to be quite honest. Says here, is this the real one? By the way, it might not be the real one. Let me make sure I'm not getting disgusting fished here. But even if it's not, I like what they posted, so we're going to read it. So no, it's not the real one. I just want to double check. However, I like this post because I've been thinking about this for the last few days. When Melissa Benoist was cast as Supergirl, the show faced significant backlash upon release. And anybody that was around during that time knows it.
Yes.
And whenever I was critical of the show, even a little bit, even a tiny bit, I got reminded about how much of a hater I am. So I do remember this era. When Sasha Calle took the role, she faced similar criticism, and now Millie Alcock as Supergirl is being heavily targeted, which with 2 Ds. So not really sure. The issue isn't with the actresses themselves. It's some men simply cannot accept or handle women with superpowers and resort to bullying as a result. And I do believe that all of these women suffered similar complaints with their time as Supergirl.
Yes.
So it can't be the character of Supergirl. It has to be an issue with the way men view these women in media.
Yeah.
It's just the reality of it. Which, by the way, I think Melissa was great as Supergirl. We didn't get to see a lot of Sasha, but I think Melissa was even if I didn't like every episode of the show, I think she was really good in the role.
No, there's such a revisionist history with all of these Arrowverse shows that has happened. I think the same thing happened with Grant. People went back and were like, "Oh, we love Grant Gustin. Grant was a great Flash. We watched all of it." It's like, no, you. But
he doesn't have blonde hair. He doesn't have blonde hair. I remember they complaining about that for
you
years.
weren't watching it, and yeah, I think look back to the Cutie Pie video. Everything after that came out, the show had so many attackers. Week after week, people would go online. They would react to it just to roast it or just to make fun of her. She got her fair share of criticism, and yeah, it's very weird now. Everyone's like, she's the perfect Supergirl. But even then, we're getting big fans of the show that are like, well, no one can live up to her take on the character. And I'm like, she had 6 seasons, over 100 episodes. She'd had crossover events. Millie's had less than 2 hours as the character.
Yeah.
Let her at least have 2 movies.
And Sasha had 15 minutes of the movie?
If that? You cannot compare the two. It would be the same as being I like Tom Welling more than I like David Cornsweet. Well, no shit. David Cornsweet's had 2 hours compared to 10 seasons of television. Of course, right. Tom will be people's favorite forever. That's fine. Same goes for Tyler. I think we just need to let these takes on the character have an opportunity to show their wings. It's very silly to me.
Yeah. All right, we did get a article. This was shared from Lone Wolf. Hugh Jackman. Oh wait, my internet lost connection to audio. Let me unshare and reshare because StreamYard, as always. I don't know why it does that. It's so weird. There was no audio to be played. Hugh Jackman hopes next Wolverine actor makes it their own. And says here, I'm 57. I'm doing it till I'm 90. So, I'll do a little time capsule for them. I'm not going to say anything to whoever plays them because no one said anything to me, which I really am thrilled about. And I've not read the comics. So here, look, by the way, if any woman said this,
Yeah.
she would get roasted for eternity.
Yep.
Online. Roasted for eternity. If a black person said it or a gay person said it, they would get roasted. No hate towards Hugh Jackman. It's just the fact
Rachel
that he
Zegler
says it.
said something very similar to this about like not liking the like original movie, and people were like, "Oh, burn her! She's a witch!" Like, it's in the same realm.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I had not read the comics. So I was just coming to it fresh. And I learned a lot over the years, of course. I've got my own take, but it must be melding with me in some way. I hope someone just comes in and does whatever they want to do and makes it their own. That was his comment there.
Sure.
So in other words, he's okay with somebody coming in and doing something new with Wolverine, which, by the way, I think with Hugh Jackman, it is going to be tough for someone to take over the role of Wolverine. Because he's been playing this character longer than almost anybody else has played their characters.
I think it's a tough one, though, because, like, I think in terms of the character itself, it will be very easy. Because they didn't... I feel like he just now has started to actually play Wolverine and not Logan, right? But he is very iconic. And, I think especially for the casual audience, it's going to be like, no, Hugh Jackman's the only Wolverine ever, and no one else better touch him or, whatever. So the discourse, I think when we officially get one, is going to be very annoying. It's going to be very... hard to talk about.
I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that when we start seeing the X-Men cast in the MCU, no, it's not going to make everybody happy. There's going to be people that are going to hate it one way or the other.
Which is like another reason why I don't want Wolverine in the first X-Men movie, because I don't think we need that heat, right? Because if you cast him in the first movie, that's going to be the main conversation, is that they recast Wolverine. They're not going to be like, oh, they recast, Halle Bailey. I don't think they care as much as they would for Hugh Jackman.
And it's interesting. Anyway, we got a super chat here from Anarin, $5 super chat in the debunks, which brings us 4 out of 5. Thank you so much. I have seen there are some people who love the Supergirl movie. They exist. The main thing I see is people saying the needle drop is bad. There's a lot of, look, I saw someone today. I can't remember, gosh, who was it? Someone that I watched here on YouTube that said that they love it. They're seeing it for the 3rd time because they love it so much. And that's fine. I'm glad that they do, because I do like that the movie has supporters that really love the movie. I'm one of those rare people where I'm in the middle of it. I don't love it and I don't hate it. I just think it's an okay movie. But there's some people that really do love it. And that's the beautiful thing about art. What I love about art is that you're going to have people that feel differently about it everywhere. Some people are going to love something. Some people are going to hate something. And yes, there's going to be one particular group that does have the majority when it comes to how they feel about X piece of art. But yeah, for me, somebody loving Supergirl, great. Hype it up. Support it. Tell people how much you love it. Yeah. I want to see that. I want to see that kind of reaction. Look, I wanted this movie to be a home run, a slam dunk, whatever other sports reference you can come up with. I wanted it to be that. Go back to watch earlier this year. We went over all of our movies for the year that we were looking forward to. Supergirl was almost either my number 1 or my number 2. It was one of the movies that I was looking forward to. Darren, I said it several times. Supergirl was one I was looking forward to. And for me to have to go in and watch the movie and not be blown away by it didn't feel good. But that's the reality of it, because I'm not going to come on here and pretend and hype something up if it didn't work for me. You know what I mean? It's not what I'm going to do. So for me to be let down by the movie, it didn't feel good. But it's just a reality. The movie to me wasn't great. And that's the unfortunate thing. But there are some people that love it. Shout out to them. Keep hyping it up. Do what you got to do. Let's see. Anna goes on to say, I thought it was fine personally, but who can be against people liking a personally would rather watch them talk about it. The negativity is tiring. Yeah, which is why I like to debunk the negativity as much as I can, because I feel like there's way too much of it. Let's see here. What else did I have on the tab? Oh, the Spider-Man poster, the new one, the international poster for Brand New Day, right here, which looks pretty cool.
Oh shit!
It's a really good. Like, I know a lot of people don't like all the posters that have come out for this. This one's kind of cool to me. I like this one. You got the Hulk doing his Hulk shit. You got the Hand out there. I believe that is Scorpion. Is that the guy that plays Scorpion? I believe. I kind of wish he had more of a costume, but it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's my only problem with this poster. I think he kind of feels a little pinned on there. I will say though, I'm really starting to think the Hand's the main villain of this movie.
You think so?
The way they're marketing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or someone associated with the Hand, or like someone using the Hand or something.
Wonder how much time the Hulk is going to have in the movie. Yeah. Like, I wonder what that's going to be like. Is it going to be like a third act thing? Is it going to be like, is he the big, like, even though the Hand's the main villain, is the Hand going to be possessing the Hulk and that's the third act villain?
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely giving Brave New World a little bit.
Because to be fair, I don't think the Hand, just the ninjas from the Hand, are going to be much trouble for Spider-Man, to be honest.
It depends.
I don't see them being much trouble. Unless they've got like some sort of magical items that give them powers or something like that. So there we go. I saw a comment up here. Anyway, 2 thumbs up for the poster. Firm says, it's funny to me, Angry Joe saw it 3 times and hated it with each view. Look, I could go on and on and on about things that I have an issue. Look, I've said this before. If I don't like the color of the door on the house and the house is on fire, then I don't need to complain about the color of the door. Right now, there's too much angry discourse around Supergirl.
Yeah.
Me telling you the minor details that I have an issue with aren't going to make or break anything. Xana, I don't know if I've seen that one or not. I will look it up maybe in a little bit. Maybe.
I can send them to you if you want.
Yeah, sure. We'll take a look at them. Angry Joe, never good with movie reviews. This has been a thing since, I guess, 2010, 2019. I don't know, 2000 P. 2010, there we go. Yeah, I stopped watching Angry Joe reviews only because I just found them to be a little bit like, not my vibe. I don't really have a big opinion about Angry Joe. I disagreed with him. I've agreed with him. It is what it is. Thomas says, Nacho. Steve says, saw your Supergirl videos. Your cope was so thick. Cope about what? I didn't like the movie. Like, I don't know what that means. What am I coping about? That's confusing to me. I'm not making excuses for a movie that I didn't like. That's really weird. Anyway, so let's check out what else I have down here. Close that window. Oh, I wanted to talk about this briefly. So apparently with all of these like YouTube movies becoming really popular, what's happening to them is exactly what I expected, and major studios are now scooping up the movies and buying these ideas to put out in theaters instead of letting them be made independently. We've got the studio overseeing it now. I saw this article, YouTube Mandela catalog turning into movie from Steven Spielberg and Scott Stuber. Anyone wondering where the next big YouTube horror feature is coming from following the mega success of Backrooms and Obsession? Well, United artists Scott Stuber and Amblin Steven Spielberg and MGM Studios have it, the Mandela catalog. We can tell you first that they've won the film rights to the viral YouTube horror series following a highly competitive 11 studio bidding war. Think about this. 11 studios are bidding over YouTube IP now. I called this out. I so called this out like not even a month ago. However, the movie will be directed by Mandela catalog creator Alex Kitzner based on a screenplay he adapted with Tyler Clifton. So at least they're involved with the actual, like, the people that created it are involved with the movie. But it's still a big budget, I guess. We'll have to see what it is. It is a Hollywood film now. It is no longer indie. It is now Hollywood stuff. I suspect it's going to be really hard moving forward to get another Backrooms, to get another movie like Obsession, something like that, when these studios just want anything they can get their hands on when it comes to these really cheap IPs.
Yeah, we're learning the wrong lesson from Obsession in these movies.
As I thought we would, yeah, for sure. I hope it's good. I don't know. Lone Wolf okay, I see it down there. Yeah, no, go ahead. I see it. Thank you. Lone Wolf says he saw the movie multiple times because he wanted to like it and he was trying to fight himself to see it so he could love about the film, but the parts that were bad kept conflicting for him. I get it. But he went out and supported it 3 times. So
yeah,
I mean, that's
awesome.
Fernardian says, I love both Angry Joe and Eric's content. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Chris says, I trust Spielberg in any case. By the way, I haven't really looked back. How did his last movie do? What was the
Disclosure Day?
Yeah.
I think it did okay. I don't think it had like a massive budget though.
Let me see. Remember we talked about that and I said I didn't think it was going to do great, but
I think like opening weekend it did very well, and then we had heard nothing since because it was followed directly by Toy Story.
So Disclosure Day was like 110, 115 budget, and it ended up doing 200 million worldwide. So that's not great. I mean, oh well. I've heard, so my issues with it were that it just kind of dragged along. Did you see it?
I did. I liked it.
I think it was good, but I do think that it kind of dragged a little bit. Like, I think that it was a little wordy in parts. And I think a lot of people would go in thinking it was going to be some massive, like, alien invasion movie, and that's not really what the movie is.
No.
So
here's what I'll say though, like, I think that is that kind of movie that doesn't really need to do super, super well, at least to us fans. Like, it's not going to get a sequel. Steven Spielberg isn't going to be out of work. Emily Blunt isn't going to be out of work. Like, no. These actors did their thing. Well,
I mean, they just purchased the rights for this other movie franchise. Yeah. So,
like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it'll be topped in the Oscar category with how it's done, but like these kind of movies are kind of made to be like, okay, award season sort of movies. Right. Even though I don't think it's going to do it. Like, that's why they make it. Yeah. So we'll see.
All right. So we do have the picture you were sharing here, which is the suit. Oh, this is an interesting suit. Yeah. It's almost like the Shadowland suit. It's very similar to it, but it's not paint. It's like properly put together material on this. I know some people are going to hate this. I love it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. What do you think of it?
At first glance, I didn't like it. Like, at first glance, I was like, it looks a little too, I don't know, like Avengers, like Justice Gang a little bit, it looks very flashy, but maybe that's the point. Like, maybe he's trying to be more traditional. I'm a superhero. I'm trying to inspire that kind of effect on the people kind of thing. Yeah. I do wonder the context around it too. Like, do people around the city think this is Matt, or do they think this is someone else? Like,
right, because we're not sure how that's going to work. Like, if there's going to be multiple Daredevils out there.
Sure. I wonder if he like fakes his death and it's like, all right, someone else takes up the mantle, but it's really just him, sort of thing.
Yeah, Xana says at least he's not back in the. I hate that suit. Look, it's an OG comic book suit, but I don't like that one at all.
And then I think here's another one that people probably want you to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, the one of them together. Mm-hmm. This leans more towards multiple Daredevils to me. Maybe the reason why the suit looks this way is there's a concerted effort to have like multiple Daredevils out there to sort of hide Matt being Daredevil. Mm-hmm.
Are we shocked that she's back?
I want to say yes, but no, not really. I mean, I feel like they've done a good job of listening to what fans want with the show.
Yeah.
I mean, people want Elektra back. They brought her back. By the way, she was an excellent Elektra, so I'm not mad that she's back. We know that we're probably going to be getting a heroes for hire situation in this season. So it seems like they're doing everything fans really want them to do, you know, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. Santa says, I wonder if Elektra and Karen are going to fight. I don't know.
That's my only fear, I think, is like, I don't want it to feel repetitive again, because we've already done the like, oh, me and Karen are finally going to do this, and then as soon as they do, Elektra shows up to ruin it. Like, I don't want that storyline again.
No, right. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I like it. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
If they fight Karen is dead, I mean,
Yeah.
facts, but it's just saying. I don't know if she would actually fight Karen in that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we'd see like a straight up like fight or whatever. All right, we have a video here. This came up on Reddit, and
Reddit.
I had never seen it before, but it's an interview with Collider and Anthony Mackie. Have you seen this?
I don't know. We'll see.
It's an interviewer named Rupert. I think his name is Rupert. And this is him and Anthony Mackie having a conversation. Apparently there was a longer version of this where I guess Disney or whatever, Marvel, decided to take the interview down for some reason. Anyway, I couldn't believe this was real. Like, I thought this was fake. It was AI, but apparently it's real. But check this out.
I was going to say Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel.
You're banana.
No, I love Man of Steel.
You're banana.
I fucking love the movie.
You should just email everybody you know and ask them what they thought about the movie.
Oh, I know a lot of people don't care for it. But I know that. But Hans Zimmer's score, the opening 20 minutes is fucking amazing on Krypton.
But there's another 3 hours of movie after that.
I will defend that movie forever.
So you're saying it should have been a short?
I'm saying to you that I could watch that movie on loop. I love it so much.
Wow.
I love it.
That scares me.
Right,
that
I understand.
You are reviewing movies.
Right, I don't review movies anymore.
Oh, good. We're saved. We're saved. All right.
By the way, I mean, I love the Marvel Universe and Civil War. I can't wait for it.
No. Don't say it's good. Because that means, if you say it's good, that means it's awful. You have
I
awful take.
was going to say Man of Steel. I love Man of
Steel. Oh, my God. What do you think about that?
What was
let me
this,
look
like
up. Let me look up
2016?
Our Brand is Crisis. Hold on. Our Brand is Crisis movie.
That
so that would have been 2015, 2016. Yeah, around that era. So like 10 years ago. How did I not ever see this? It's like I got scrubbed from the internet. I literally, when he said I don't review movies anymore, Anthony's like, good. I was like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love that energy. Like, I don't.
It's a little weird, right? Like,
yeah.
So I like Man of Steel as well. I know it's not everybody's favorite movie, right? And I've said this before. I've watched Man of Steel more times than I can count. It's one of my favorite movies from that era. But I understand it's not the greatest movie. Most people would say it's not even a real good Superman movie. But I do like the movie, right? I do like it. But the fact that he's reacting to this guy saying, I'm glad you don't review movies anymore. Please don't say my movies are good because that would mean they're bad. Like, I can't believe he said this in an actual interview.
Yeah. It's weird energy. And it's tough because I think Anthony Mackie has a very tough joking exterior, right? Like, I think he's, I think he's a very, like, tough love when he jokes. So I don't know how much of this is satire, how much of this is...
No, I do think that there is humor in there, but my thing is like him being so aggressively humorous about it, like going in like he did. Like when the joke left the building, he kept going, and it got scrubbed. Apparently, Disney removed the interview from Collider. So I guess some people have it downloaded or whatever. No, this was like a couple years after Man of Steel. Man of Steel came out in 2013. So this would have been two years-ish after it.
I mean,
so it's funny to me because the thing is, at that point, we were still brand new into the DCEU at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to make it a cat race, but I would take Man of Steel over Brave New World.
Wow.
But
I mean, same for me. But look. The reality is, I don't think Anthony had a lot of control over what Brave New World.
I agree. That movie's not his
fault. You know
fault.
what I mean? Like, I really would love. Maybe one day I'll do it because I know there's probably videos out there about it. But I'd love to go see like all the production stuff that happened with that movie, because I do believe there's probably a rabbit hole of like what happened to that movie and where it ended up. I think it would be kind of interesting. Let's see. Julia says, did you hear about John Campea knowing who the DCU Batman? I don't believe that. He might have heard a name, but let's see. Chris says, did you see the supposedly bullshit the entire? Yeah, and I see people covering it. Look, let me ask you guys a question. I'm really curious about this because I see it a lot. Do you guys like when content creators cover entire leaks of stuff, even if you know it's like a 99% chance that it's bullshit? Like, and I'm asking the chat, like, if you're playing a game, pause your game, sit your controller down. If you're in a match, fuck the match. Like, answer here. Do you like when content creators cover leaks about movies if they know they're probably fake? Because I wouldn't mind making those videos, but I've always felt like I wouldn't want to watch that. I feel like that's just like, why would I tune into that? But if you guys want me to do it, I'll do it. I read the leaks. I believe most of them are bullshit. So
I'd rather watch it if it is fake. Like, I think it's fun, like talking hypotheticals, being like, okay, if this was true, would we whatever? But like, I don't want to read if it's new. Like, if it's actually real, I don't want to see that shit. Like, I don't want to look at the leaks. I want to enjoy it in the cinema. There's some stuff I've seen today where I'm like, well, this is clearly bullshit. Like, did you see the like Spider-Man thing that came out today?
And the thing with him and Yelena, yeah, I saw that.
That's like the most bullshit thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, they're having a sex scene together. Really?
They're like, both naked together. I'm like, what are we talking about?
I will say probably the biggest leak that gagged me, because I didn't believe it was true, was the monkeys talking about super shit during Superman. Like, when I heard about that, I was like, there's no way there's monkeys on a computer typing super shit. It's just, that's not true. And then it ended up being true. That's one of the ones where I was literally snatched my wig on that one. Like, I was completely thrown off guard. But it looks like the chat is pretty torn on it. Like, some people like it, some people don't. I don't know if I want to do that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends.
Anyway, chat, if you're watching from the Debunks channel or you're here on the Reloaded and you want to get 3 things chosen, because we have a tie right now, 1 and 2 are tied. 1 more super chat of any amount on Debunks will end the poll, and we will choose these options. So right now we've got 2 of them are tied, and 1 with some votes and 1 with none. Oh, somebody set it off. Someone set it off. Can we tie it up again? Anarin says, Talkie Leaks feels like you got to cover everything said online about something. Well, the issue is sometimes they're legitimate, sometimes they're not, but you never really know. Lone Wolf says he said he thinks he knows, not confirmed, though. That's fair. It's fair if he's being transparent about it. All right. Here's the next thing that I had in my tab, only because I thought might be interesting to talk about. You're probably not a huge fan of G.I. Joe, right? It's not something that you know a lot about. I believe that's an IP that's kind of been phased out of modern stuff.
I was going to ask, like, do we, like, I know this is a thing people grew up on and stuff, but do we still care about G.I. Joe movies and TV shows?
I don't think I do. That's the thing, is I don't think I do. But Danny McBride is apparently writing the new one, and this is what he had to say about it. I've written one. Yes, I'm stoked about it. I'm really fired up about the script. Paramount seems fired up about it, so hopefully we're shooting it next year. It was definitely the cartoons and the comics. Like, G.I. Joe was my thing when I was a kid. I like that more than Star Wars, more than anything. Like, I love G.I. Joe, and I still have all the characters. By the way, Danny McBride is like that age demographic that would like G.I. Joe. Like, that's the definite age demographic, right? And I tried to give my G.I. Joe collection to my son, and he wasn't interested. That's a problem, right? That's literally the problem, okay?
Yeah.
But you know who's interested? My daughter, who likes robots. I don't know how that correlates with G.I. Joe, but okay. That's who plays with my gung-ho and snake eyes in the shower, but I've always loved it. I had an idea for a Dreadnoughts movie. I went to Paramount and pitched it, and they were like, well, the franchise kind of needs to be launched. so we can't come out with a Dreadnoks movie, which is spelled differently here. Would you have an angle for G.I. Joe proper? And I was like, hell yeah, I have an angle for that. We cracked something that we really love. It's not a comedy. It's kind of like suspense and action. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the only issue with this, sort of like with He-Man, is G.I. Joe did lean into sort of the campiness of the era with like the types of characters and things they did. So when you say it's suspense and action, it's not a comedy at all. I don't really know how that's going to play in a modern type of movie.
That's just like a war movie, right? At that point. Like, it's just like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It says, there's that town in the comic, Springfield, which takes a place at secretly All Cobra. That's where our film takes place. Well, why are you giving that away here? Wouldn't that be one of the things that they have to learn about in the movie? All right. Paramount is very high on the script, and we have some pretty interesting people lining up to be in it. 2, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it looks like it's going to be pretty fun. So I don't have an issue with this, but you kind of gave away a big thing. Like the Springfield thing is a pretty big mystery in the... Anyway, I don't know if G.I. Joe is the franchise that really rocks anymore. You know what I mean? But I could be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool that's being made. I'm always down for creators being able to make what they're passionate about. That's awesome. Like, I'm glad it's being made.
Yeah.
But I think we'll be talking about it in a couple of years when it like makes $100 million opening weekend on a $200 million budget, and we're like, why did it fail or whatever.
By the way, I think Paramount needs movies right now, so it's not shocking they would jump at like a G.I. Joe movie because they don't have a lot coming out. Oh, I do want to talk to you about something before we go, though.
I was just about to ask you if you heard about this.
Yeah. So, but I do want to point out we did get our final super chat in the Debunks chat from Juice Simpson, a $4.99 super chat. Much love, guys, with a heart and a peace symbol. Thank you so much, Juice, for the super chat and ending our goal in the Debunks chat, which ends our poll, which means we are getting top 5, 2 of the top 5s because we lost the tie, apparently. But we're getting top 5 favorite episodes of TV of all time and favorite movies from our childhood. So let me put that on the list here. Fave episodes of TV and fave movies from childhood. There we go. Thank you guys so much for all the super chats and stuff. Let's do this. We're going to hide the poll and then end it. Delete it. All right. So you know what I'm going to be asking about, right? Go ahead and go into that.
I mean, I assume we're talking about the potential Avatar news that came out. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know anymore. So like, yes, like the rumor is like they might just drop it at Comic-Con. They might just go to Comic-Con and be like, hey guys, I know you're excited. It's out now. Have fun. Eat your heart out, which I could believe if true, right? They said a couple months ago, or like maybe a month ago, that like they have some very exciting news at San Diego this year, and they're going to have some exciting stuff.
Right.
So I could kind of believe it. With it being leaked online anyway, they might just be like, fuck it, let's just put it out. Like there's no reason to wait 4 more months and just have it come out.
Right.
I'm so disappointed with how this whole thing went down. Like,
yeah,
this might be one of the biggest fumbles in like Paramount history.
Also, while we're talking about that, what did you think of the season of Avatar live action? Have you watched it all or no?
I'm like 3 episodes into that.
So you're not feeling it? It's not urgent for you to get through it, is basically where you're at.
I mean, it's fine. Like, yeah, I think live action Avatar is in a very weird spot because I think the season's solid. I think it's okay. The issue is that they're adapting one of the greatest seasons of television of all time, or like one of the greatest shows of all time. And so anything they do will always be like, well, they did it slightly better here. And which I think is really going to hurt it. And so like, I see so many people posting these online, like, look how bad it is. It's like, that's not a bad scene. They just did it better previously because it's animated and that's how it's kind of meant to be seen. So it's all right. It's fine. I also have a hard time getting excited when I'm like, well, we have we have new Avatar content coming in a couple months.
It's kind of like the live action Moana, like at this point.
Yeah. It's like, why would I be excited to see something I've already seen when I have new stuff coming soon? But yeah, I think it's okay.
Chris says, by the way, they dumped Among Us with zero marketing the exact same way start of June too.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on with it. By the way, that merger is still in litigation between Warner Brothers and Paramount. Remember, they said by July they wanted to have everything combined together. And remember, I said that's not going to happen. I was like, there's no way that's going to happen. And I've been proven right again. So I think it's kind of funny.
I'm like living my own merger currently. Our work just got bought out by a larger company like yesterday.
What?
I don't know if you guys have Giant Eagles up there, but Kroger bought the like all Giant Eagles basically.
I did see that, yeah.
So yeah, they have a deal for like it was like $1.2 billion deal or something. I was like,
are they changing them all to Kroger's or no?
No, they're keeping it as Giant Eagle, but they're like, okay, currently they're keeping it all the same. They're like, nothing's changing, you're fine, whatever. But I'm also like, okay, but how long until you're changing stuff and whatever? So we'll see. I mean,
yeah.
Crazy. But it like when I saw, I was like, oh, we're going through our own Warner Brothers situation as we speak.
That's crazy. I've been recovering this week. I don't know if you saw, I posted pictures or whatever, but I headlined so many things this month as the headline DJ. This past weekend, I headlined Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. I'm completely out. I actually posted, I'm going to go and look at I've got some pictures I posted on my Debunks page. Let me see if I got it here. We can take a look at these pictures, but pull this down here. There we go. Let's see, can I enlarge it or is that, no, I'm going to just do it this way. But here's some pictures of the events I was doing. It's not all of them, but it's just the ones from this past weekend. But there I am DJing the main stage at the oceanfront. I was DJing for every act. There was 17 acts there, and I was DJing for all of them. Here's another angle there from me DJing as well.
Oh yeah.
Here I was. This is the same stage, but you can see the large crowd. Basically, everything behind those tents that you see is ocean. That's how close to the ocean we were at this concert that we were doing. Completely full, more people than that than the thing happening in Washington D.C. right now, which I think is kind of funny. And then here I was working the club that night with a packed dance floor. So it was a very busy weekend for me. Is there another one here? Oh yeah, there's my setup for the Saturday event before I got started. Anyway, but yeah, I was really busy, and I've been recovering. I was trying to get videos out this week, and I'm just like, I don't have the energy. I'm trying my best. So tomorrow I'm trying to do a live stream. I want to do a Copecast because I didn't do one last week, but I may not have time tomorrow. We'll see. With the temperature being super hot, I might just stay in. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow. We'll see on the Debunks channel. On Reloaded, there'll probably be a video tomorrow because I only did one this week, so I'll probably do a second one tomorrow. But yeah, it might be a live stream. But this is where we're going to wrap things up. So Darren, what's going on with you? Where can they find you? What's happening?
Yeah, no, I mean, I posted a new Python podcast today. Me and my buddy Connor talked about Supergirl. As we're starting to wrap up that era of things. And then stream every Monday with Taz. We're talking 97, My Adventures with Superman. We got Batman coming up and Lanterns coming up and so many big TV shows coming up. So thanks for having me, man.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you for being here. You were the only guest tonight, so the chat would have been stuck with just me.
We've done
I know.
Solo, yeah.
Well, I know that Phil can't stay late. Ronan was here on Tuesday for a little while, but he's been really busy.
Yeah.
Jake is out of town on vacation.
He is.
Joe has been having trouble staying awake, and Omega is sometimes around. I don't really know what his work schedule is, but anyway, I appreciate you being. It's summertime, so I don't know. A lot of people got stuff going on. With that being said, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Wasn't a ton to talk about, but we did want to dive into X-Men 97, which is what I was really excited to see. And that's pretty much it. Silo comes out in the morning, I think. The new episode of Silo, I believe.
A lot of shows.
Watching that on Apple TV. Yeah, a lot of stuff. So with that being said,